My father cut off my mother's money because graduate children should provide. So my mother showed him what unpaid labor really looks like. My father handed my brother Ramon his first paycheck back to him at dinner. "Why would I take this?" he said, pushing the envelope across the table. "Your mother and I raised you. Now you raise us." Mom froze mid-pour, the pot of soup suspended over my father's bowl. "What did you just say?" "The kids are working now. Rose is at the bank, Ramon's at the firm. They should be covering household expenses. That's how families work. But I haven't worked in 22 years because you said, and now you don't need to. The children will provide." That night, my father moved his direct deposit to a separate account. Mom discovered this when her card declined buying groceries. She called him from the store. "The joint account's empty. Ask Rosa for money. She makes $40,000 a year." My mother came home with no groceries. She sat at the kitchen table staring at the wall. "Your father says since you and Ramon work now, taking care of us is your responsibility." "Mom, that's insane. He controls the finances, always has." She looked around the spotless house she'd maintained for 2 decades. "I quit my accounting job when Ramon was born because he said raising you properly was more important than money. We'll figure something out." She stood up slowly. "No, if I'm not getting a salary anymore, then I'm not an employee anymore." The next morning, my father's alarm went off at 6. His clothes weren't laid out. His coffee wasn't made. His breakfast wasn't waiting. "Marina, where's my shirt?" Mom was reading on the porch. "In the closet, probably. The pressed one for the meeting. I don't work here anymore. You stopped paying me, remember?" He pressed it himself badly. The burn mark across the collar was visible from 20 feet away. That evening, he opened the fridge to empty shelves. "What's for dinner?" "Whatever you make," Mom said, painting her nails at the table. "Or ask Rosa. Apparently she's responsible for feeding you now." "This is ridiculous. This is retirement." Ramon tried to keep peace. "Mom, at least cook for yourself. I order takeout with my savings. 22 years of birthday money from my sister adds up." Within a week, the house transformed. Dishes piled in the sink. Laundry mountain grew in the hallway. The bathroom had species of mold I couldn't identify. My father, who hadn't touched a cleaning supply since 1998, didn't know where we kept the vacuum. "Marina, the toilet's disgusting." "Then clean it. I work 60 hours a week. I worked 24 hours a day for 2 decades. Now I don't." Week 3, my father tried hiring a cleaning service. They wanted $1,200 a month. "That's robbery," he shouted into the phone. "That's market rate," Mom said, scrolling through Pinterest. "I saved you $14,000 a year, apparently." He tried manipulating Ramon. "Your mother's lost her mind. Talk sense into her." Ramon looked at the garbage bags piling up by the door. "Pay her. She's my wife, not an employee." "Then why did you cut off her access to money?" My father started eating every meal at restaurants. $60 a day, minimum. His dry cleaning cost another $200 weekly because he'd never learned to iron. The house smelled like a dumpster. Mom, meanwhile, joined a book club, started taking pottery classes with her sister, got her hair done professionally for the first time in years. "Where'd you get money for highlights?" my father demanded. "Rosa gave me some, since she's financially responsible for me now." "You're manipulating our children against me. I'm retired. You retired me when you stopped my salary." The neighbors started noticing. Mrs. Chen from next door asked about the smell. My father blamed it on renovations. Then the HOA sent a warning about the lawn. He'd never operated the lawnmower. "Pay someone to cut it," Mom suggested. "Oh wait, you're trying to save money by not paying for household labor." Month 2, Ramon and I signed a lease across town. "You're abandoning your family," my father said, standing in his wrinkled suit in the disaster zone that was once our living room. "We're starting our own family households," I said, "with fair distribution of labor." Mom packed us cookies she'd bought from the store. "Visit anytime. I'll be here, enjoying retirement." "Marina, if the children leave, who'll pay for things?" "The same person who's been paying all along. You." We left him there, surrounded by pizza boxes and dirty clothes. Mom waved from her clean bedroom, the only maintained space in the house. Last I heard, he hired a full-time housekeeper for $2,500 a month. Mom still lives there, retired and unbothered.